Well, this week, let's talk about the Tater Tot controversy. Along with showing you some absolute classic albums you really must have, and then some pretty weird stuff, and a little VCLT. Welcome to the Early Morning Sunday Show.
Okay.
And welcome back. It's the Early Morning Sunday Show. Me and your co-host, Kat. He'll probably be up in a bit. Can't see him not bothering me. Today, on my midweek, I just did a store tour. Did 33 RPM Records in Traverse City, and I forgot to wear their shirt, so there it is, 33 RPM Records. Nice little store up there in Traverse City. And here comes yes, meow. Yes, meow. Meow, we're starting. I know, I didn't wait for you. I get it. He's pissed. I did not wait for him, and now we're going to have to meow about it. Okay, let's sit down. I've absolutely now have totally lost focus on everything that I was going to do here. So let's begin. Start with my grandson Aiden. In my life, I've never, and I can honestly, I have never flipped anybody off in my life. I found no purpose. It's food. I never flipped anybody off. At 5 weeks, he's flipping off the camera. 5 weeks old. Wow. Good luck. Good luck, Eric and Kim. Good luck, Mom and Dad. Yeah. So, that's pretty damn funny though, isn't it? But let's first talk, just real quick. Here's the issue.
I was going to make some food, but Steve Carlson has invited all of us over to his place after this. He's going to be making Tater Tot Hotdish for everyone, and he seems pretty proud of his Tater Tot Hotdish recipe. So, if you just need something to tide yourself over until then, I do have a cupboard full of meat stick. Definitely help yourself.
Okay, so let's first just say Tater Tot Hotdish. If you're out there going, what the hell is Tater Tot Hotdish? Not everybody knows this. Even in the United States, not everybody knows Tater Tot Hotdish. It is it's a Midwest thing. If you go to a church function, you have Tater Tot Hotdish. I mean, you're expected to have Tater Tot Hotdish. Any picnic, potluck, anything. And Tater Tot Hotdish is really, you go to the refrigerator, you take all the crap you don't know what to do with, you toss it in a bowl. In it, you put either cream of mushroom, cream of chicken, soup. You just toss that in there. Throw some cheese on it because cheese is good for everything. And then you cover the top with tater tots, which are little potato things. Pop it in the oven, Tater Tot Hotdish. It is just, people live on this. Now, in Nebraska, we called it a tater tot casserole. You use the word casserole. Yes, you had a casserole dish. But when I went up to Minnesota, it was called hot dish. Okay, all the same thing. I get it. Well, Sam, of course, invited everybody over. And so I didn't know. Okay, I wasn't prepared for this. And so suddenly I have a bunch of people coming, and they're lined up at my door because Sam, when he says something, I mean, people just follow. If he says jump off the cliff, I mean, it's awful. It looks like a bunch of lemmings going, just boop, 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 boop. They're flying all over the place. So I have all these people, and I'm looking. I have some tater tots, but I don't have that many tater tots. So I go to my neighbor. I go over, and my neighbor's Betsy, who for 15 years I thought her name was Dottie, and I've been calling her Dottie, and I find out it really is Betsy. So I don't know what the hell she was thinking. And I go, Betsy, formerly Dottie, you having tater tots? Well, all she had was these hash brown. Well, tater tots is like a hash brown, but it's in a ball. But she only had like that hash brown pads, and I tried to bring them over, and people just got pissed off because that's not Tater Tot Hotdish. You don't use pads of hash browns, and it became a mess. I tried to settle down. I was giving away free records. I just go take a record album. It didn't really matter. They came for Tater Tot Hotdish. So, yeah, I was unprepared. And we hope to get this all taken care of. So, and if I had meat sticks, I probably would have been okay. So that's what happened. And yeah, so you know what? If you want free food, you got to go down to Sam's. Go down to Arizona. Sam's down there. His refrigerator, he's always offering you food and beer, so take it, okay? And yeah, sorry about the hot dish. Cheers. All right, well, now that I took up 5 minutes, let's begin with some records, okay? First off, very quick. Grammy, yes, best album of the year by somebody. Got the Grammy, best alternative band. Yay! Got actually 2 Grammys, so great job, Wet Leg. I haven't bought a Grammy album, and it's been decades. So I was like, oh, look at that! It's a new category, best alternative. So it was like Grammy of the year. All right, so but we're going to go. This album here, the Feelies, came out in New Jersey in 1976, broke up in 92, reformed in 08, and still playing away. Originally called the Out Kids when they started, but they had read a book, Brave New World by Aldous Huxley, and in it there was a pleasure machine called, basically a vibrator called the Feelies, and that's what they called it. This was my first band. A lot of people didn't know I'm a musician, but yes, it was my first band, and can you pick me out there? Yay! Yeah, okay. So this here's the Feelies were unique, and they were the 3 N's of unique. So the 3 N's is nerdy, nervous, and noisy. That's what these guys were about. When you think about it, they built their song structure, their guitar, I don't know, their guitar chord patterns were basically taken from the group Wire, except they took these songs and they stretched it out like television would do. And it was totally unique. Their music, especially this album, it influenced so many bands, including REM, and it came out in 1980. Highly praised album and very influential. So this is the album called Crazy Rhythms, and this is just a masterpiece. That's a kind of a neat label there. It came off of, what was it, Stiff Records, right? I believe, you know, you never see the thing when I want to see it. I think it was Stiff Records. Yeah. Okay, they'd come up with a single in '79. This was like the biggest unsigned band in New Jersey, New York. But in '79 they had the single Fa 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 C'est La. And it finally they got someone to sign them, and then they put this album out in 1980. You could hear one of their influences is the Velvet Underground, and you can hear the Velvet Underground influences within the vocals, the way they're done, and within the drumming. It's definitely there, and I love that part of it. To do a Beatles thing, because you know you gotta love the Beatles. If not, you get excommunicated. They do the Beatles song. Everybody's got something to hide except me and my monkey. And I don't know. I guess some people had. I guess one of the Beatles had a monkey or something. But that, I mean, it's a ripper. It is just so good. You know, I wish the Beatles had done it as good as the Feelies. It was just awesome. Now, and this was done by Stiff Records, and they had wanted them to do a follow-up hit, and they didn't like that at all. Someone telling them what to do. You know, you get a first album, you get a hit, fa 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 say la, and suddenly someone's saying to do this, and it's like, well, you know, kind of screw you. And they didn't do anything, and they refused to record anything. I think they went to another label in '83. You know, they're kind of just tossed off. So, but the Feelies, this is where the old nerdy kind of rock started coming up, and eventually Weezer said, I want to be like them. So, classic album. extremely important album as you go into the 1980s. Just wonderful stuff.
There's a kid I know, but not too well. He doesn't have a lot to say. Well, his mom lives right next door to me.
The next few albums were sent to me from Drew, Diamond Needles. That's his channel, Diamond Needles. Please check it out. Drew, he hasn't done as many videos lately, and I hope he does more. He has, what I really appreciate on Drew's channel is he does hip-hop. Now, he does it toward the end because views always drop toward the end. That's why I try to show my best stuff at the beginning, because by the end, you got about 33% of people still watching. You guys, a lot of you that comment, you're still watching because you get the crap I say at the end. But Drew, you know, he does this, you know, the hip hop, which I don't know a lot about, but he does it in a great way, and he's really educated me with hip hop, and I truly appreciate it. But the rest of his channel, you know, he has a great presentation. I really like this guy a lot. I've watched his channel since the start, and to his mom Sherry, hey Sherry, always appreciate hearing from you too. So Drew sent me this. He sent me a couple albums, and I got a nice letter from him here. He typed it on the computer, which is what I do on my VCLT because you can't read it. But this was interesting. This is cool. This is Afro Rock, and it's from the KPM. Afro Rock, this came out originally in 1973, and it is it's that oh, what do you best recall? It's the music library. Yeah, music library. That's what this stuff is. I got a ring light for Christmas. Kind of annoying at times. So this, and it deals, this music library, the music dealt with funk music. Now, they call it Afro-funk, but basically it's funk music. And, of course, this music, so they created this, and it was used that people with TV shows or movies, if you're looking to insert some music in, you could use this. And you could put that into there and really not have to pay royalties. And it is just such a groove. I mean, you know, this is, you know, they do these albums and they're very genre specific. And it is just, it's great. It is so much fun. This is pure 70s funk instrumental fun. This is wonderful. And if I'd known about this album, I definitely would have snap this sucker up. It is so good. Really enjoyed it. Sent me this, and yeah, I'm not from Michigan. I've been here 16 years, so it's like almost where I've lived the longest part of my life, but I don't know a lot of the musicians, but this is neat. It's still in the shrink. Look at that. Only $1.96, and this is Dennis Coffey. And Dennis Coffey, he was born in Detroit in 1940, and he is a studio musician, but he's put out 18 albums in CDs. His last was in 2019. He put out one. And actually, he started playing the guitar at age 13. By age 15, he was already doing his first studio recordings. That's how good he became at this. And by the late 60s, he had joined or was part of the Motown Funk Brothers studio band. Isn't that crazy? And so, you know, you didn't have many white guys there at the Motown, but he was that good. And so he came in, and here's where you can tell, you know, he's there. He introduced the wah-wah guitar to Motown. You think of Cloud 9. You think of Ball of Confusion. Think of the song War. All those heavier sounding songs. out of Motown was Dennis Coffey and his guitar. Just incredible. Well, in 71, he came up with this hit called Scorpio. And it went to number 6 in the charts, number 9 on the R&B charts. And he became the first white guy to perform on Soul Train. That's pretty amazing. So, it kind of took off, but he's still a really popular studio musician. Now, the song Scorpio, great guitar on this thing, but the drum pattern that's on there has been sampled by Public Enemy, by the Beastie Boys. Hundreds of groups have taken it. It is so freaking funky. That's why. Frickin' you can use, that's not kind of like swear. Well, my dad would have got mad. Frickin' sounds like something else, but you can use it. Sorry, I digress again. Okay, so, yeah, he does a rendition of A Whole Lot of Love by Led Zeppelin. Funkified it. Outstanding. And of course, the Scorpio, it is just crazy drumming, guitars, just fun funk. This was great. I was totally not aware of this. And Drew said, I know he's going to like this. This is what he's, and I actually talked about it. And I'd said, God, that sounds really cool. And so Drew remembered that. And he sent me this beautiful copy. So really neat. Dennis Coffey and the Detroit Guitar Band. And it's guitars. It's all guitars on here. Of course, there's a drummer. Alto guitar, solo, a sitar, tenor guitar, baritone guitar, bass guitar, and percussion. Absolutely wonderful if you see it. I don't think it costs that much. If you're in Midland, Radio Wasteland does have a copy of this. Super, super stuff. How about VC inspired music? Add this. This is the Psychedelic Freaks. Psychedelic Freaks. I saw this on a VC channel. I was trying to remember, who did I see this from? Then I found the groups from Melbourne, Australia. Melbourne, Australia. I think Mike must have shown this. Mike, a.k.a. Ben Rankin. Mike in Australia. So, might have been Ben. It sounds, if it's out of Melbourne, it's got to be Ben Rankin. How would I know? Well, a lot of you guys know a lot more about this stuff than I do. This is neat. Came out in 2021. It is called Passing Through the Doorways of Your Mind by the Psychedelic Freaks. Okay, that just kind of says it all, doesn't it? I mean, whoa, we're going on a trip here. It is like a 70s fusion space odyssey. It is kind of like taking Miles Davis's fusion period. Really, you take Afrobeat, psychedelic music, jazz, funk fusion, again, all inspired by Miles Davis, and pop it in here. It's a cocktail, I guess, a cocktail of Fela Kuti, Jimi Hendrix, Davis, and Zappa tossed together. What you're getting out of this thing. It is great. Horacio Luna. Horacio Luna is the bass player and the one it's his group, the Psychedelic Freaks. He has another group, and I can't think of the name of it right off the top of the head. His real name, if his mom and dad call him Henry Hick, though. Hick's last name. Henry Hick is his real name. That's what Mom and Pa call him, but we call him Horacio Luna. This is fun. This is some great stuff. It's contemporary sounding, but definitely has the 70s influence. Spacey psych rock. Still, it's modern. It isn't like you're going way back there. It can get really weird at times, but then it seems to center itself. Nothing special here, nothing special inside. Any card or anything? I don't think so. Nope. Great stuff. again, came out of Australia, really fascinating. I love this stuff. The Psychedelic Freaks, fantastic. Quick twofer. Brought in these two. I've got two reissues here of Spaceman 3. Spaceman 3 is just a group I really, really like. Formed in the UK in 82, broke up in 91. I mean, this is just colorful, mind-altering guitar experience, I guess is what you could call Spaceman 3. I'm really psyched out, I guess, today. There's just this wall of distortion from these over-amplified acoustic guitars and synthesizers. They just created sound and fuzz, and it was really loud. This one here, this is their third album, and it's Playing with Fire. It was kind of the last album they really did together. I mean, they were kind of falling apart, and it came out in 1989, and it is just... This is gentler. If you've heard their earlier stuff, this is gentler, and there's some more hushed sounds. For instance, there is the song on here, Lord, Can You Hear Me? And they use this gospel in a few of these. And it's this quiet beauty that's about it. You can still hear this droning going on in the background, but yet there's this quietness that's happening. But then you've got something like Revolution, and it's just the slow burner, and it just keeps getting more and more frantic as it goes. Just great Spaceman 3 stuff. Suicide just is a complete freak out. No, you don't know. No, those are the records. We don't sit on records. Yeah. God, why? Dude. So, really, this was great stuff. I think I have their other two albums already. I got an original one, well, not the cover anymore, but brought in another cover, I think. So, really good one. Now, this one came out in 1990. This is a live album. They went to a theater, and they performed there during a movie. And this is, it's like an unbroken tapestry of hypnotic drone that's happening. There's these throbbing tones and repetitive phrases that are happening. And again, it's just performed during this live filming. Hype sticker for those that like hype. And it would really be best on CD, quite honestly, because here, side 1, side 2, you have to turn it over, and it breaks up what they're trying to do. Now, it's a 2-album set because they add in some other live music along with a couple studio. There's a studio thing, and then on the back they call the Spaceman Jam. Great stuff from Spaceman 3. This here is a classic, Spaceman 3. It's a really important one from them. It's probably the most accessible, I think. And this is just fun. So, Spaceman 3, great group. Now, another absolute wonderful classic. Glad to get a nice repress of this, and that's from Green Day, American Idiot. Green Day, of course, came out in 89, and out of Berkeley, California. Punk, they revitalized punk. They recharged it. They brought the energy and the speed and the catchy 3-chord punk pop that had started in the 70s. They brought it back. You know, you had Nirvana doing their thing. They went and then more of this punk pop. It was so popular. Well, you guys know that. Of course, Green Day, I did not know this, but Green Day is slang for I just want to sit around and smoke pot all day and do nothing else. I didn't do that. That's what having a Green Day is. Now I know. So I don't know, maybe American Idiots about me. I could be. But American Idiots are seventh album, and this is a rock opera. You think Tommy, Zen Arcade, Rocky Horror Picture Show, all put together within this album. It is just such a masterpiece. It is filled with, I mean, it's about, they just take these political issues and they put together with the energy of the Clash. The music, it's tough, it's fluid, it is so fueled with anger on here and disillusionment and frustration. It just shows up. I was blown away when I heard this. I couldn't stop playing it over and over. You have, you know, like Jesus in Suburbia, it's like 5 different, you know, songs on there. You know, there'll be, this is punk, you know, like a minute 30, boom, 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 you're going to go. You know, Homecoming, where you got Death of St. Jimmy. This is my favorite Green Day album. You know, most would say maybe Dookie, maybe Nimrod, whatever. This is the one because this said something. This came out and, you know, there was, you know, 9/11 had happened. And so in America, everyone's like, oh, God, what's going to happen next? Well, now, I mean, you go to the shopping mall, you're just going to get shot. So what the hell? I think it's worse. But this was important. And they said something so important. I was so happy. This came into Radio Wasteland. I go, man, I got to pick that sucker up. Great classic. To me, a masterpiece. This is a masterpiece and a must-have album. Final one here. We have this album here from Henry St. Clair Fredericks. Henry St. Clair Fredericks is the one who did this album, but you can call him Taj Mahal. He came out, he actually started playing, was born in 42, picked up a guitar when he was a teenager and began playing in Boston. By his early 20s, he moved out to LA. He formed a group called Rising Sun with Roy Cooder. And so Ry Cooder, they formed this group. Well, this is just a nice, kind of a softer acoustic album. I believe it came out in 72. On side 1, it's a live performance where he's in a hall and just playing some of his stuff. He brings in a lot of African music on that one. He was into African and Caribbean music big time. His parents were from the Caribbean. But on side 2, it's studio, and he has the Pointer Sisters come in, and they really add this gospel-fueled kind of vocals. Just a nice song. You can see just beautiful copy. And someone sent this to me. It might have been Mark, Mad for Vinyl. It seems like, I think he might have sent this to me. Mark, I apologize if I'm not remembering, but hey, it takes me a while to show albums. So, but great stuff.
Chicago. I got $40 in my pocket. I'm gonna grab you by the hand. We're gonna sash it down to the depot edge. Get some tickets from that depot edge, man. Sing, come on.
All right, that's a wrap up. There we go. The Tater Tot controversy has been talked about. I think we got that all worked out, and appreciate you dropping by. On the midweek, I have some box sets. I got in this week my favorite box set of all time. I finally got it back, and I could not be happier. It's just, gosh darn, this is the one it's been on my mind since the flood, and I have it back. So good to see it. Cat said screw you all, I guess, and flipped you off. So bye.